To become Java developer, we should learn these skills. First, we should learn core Java, which is fundamental for developing Java applications, and servlet and JSP, which help us to develop web application. Nowadays, we are not using servlet and JSP to develop a web application. Even though we are not using it, it is fundamental to develop a web application. Nowadays, we are using Spring MEC to develop a web application. And we should know frameworks like Spring, Hibernate, and Apache CXF. And we should know any of this database. And our web application is running in a server, so we should have knowledge on server, and we should know how to develop and consume web services like REST and SOAP. Apart from that, we should have knowledge on JUnit, security, and Maven, which is used to build project, and Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, we should have basic knowledge. So these are the skills we should know to become a backend developer. To become UI developer, that means front-end developer, we should know these skills: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and web frameworks like Angular, React.js, Vue.js, and there's another JS, Value.js, which will help us to develop web applications. And there are some CSS framework like Bootstrap will help us to design our web page. And version control is used to store our code. Okay. So these are the skills we require to become front-end developer. To become full stack developer, especially Java full stack developer, you should have combination of backend developer skills as well as front-end developer skills. If you look at this slide, front-end technology, to develop front-end application, we should know these skills. And backend technology, we should know these skills. Apart from that, this is version control system, that means SV and JIT, which help us to store our code. API, nowadays all the projects or most of the web projects or mobile projects, we are developing RESTful web service, and server, which help us to deploy our web application. Okay. When we learn Java, these are the softwares should be installed on your machine. JDK, Java Development Kit, should be installed to learn Java. And Eclipse and STS is the IDE which help us to develop our application faster. It is the tool which has some auto-generated tool plugins which help us to improve our development productivity. And Notepad Plus, this is a editor, and MySQL is used as a database. Tomcat 8 or 9, it's as a server to run our web application. Maven as a build tool. Visual Studio is optional. Some developers prefer Visual Studio, so it is a optional. But as a Java developer, we should use Eclipse or STS as developer application, or else instead of Eclipse or STS, you can use another editor, popular editor, IntelliJ. Okay. There are 5 types of software application. If you look at this slide, desktop application, web application, embedded systems, mobile application, console applications. At the end of this training, you should be able to develop a web application and RESTful web service. I'm not going to train you to develop a desktop application. I'm going to train you to develop a web application, as well as to develop a RESTful web service. Okay. What is desktop application? Desktop applications is installed on your machine. To run desktop application, the internet connection is not required because the application is installed on your machine. If the desktop application is interacting with the database, it is also installed on your machine. So whatever we need, everything is installed on a single machine. So internet connection is not required. If you look at here, even this PPT, this is Microsoft Office. So this is one example of a desktop application. Okay. And what is web application? Let us assume that our google.com or amazon.com one second. So these are web applications. To develop web application, as I already mentioned in my previous slide, you need these skills. Not only these skills, you also need these skills in Java. You can develop web application using any technology. You no need to use Java. You can use Python. You can use .NET. Okay. to consume a web application, that means to use web application, what we need browser. If you look at here, what we are using Chrome. So Chrome is one of the browser. If you look at here, Chrome is one of the browser, or you can use Firefox, or you can use Internet Explorer. So these are popular browser we will use to use web application. So browser is a software which is installed on our computer to use web application. When we use web application, in the behind what is happening is the web application is developed, that means the software is developed, which is installed on a software like web server. Okay, so let us assume that we are developing Amazon.com. What we will do, using some technology, that means Java or .NET, using some technology, we will develop a web application. We will deploy, that means we will install our web application in a web server. So again, web server is a software which will installed on a machine. So in here, what we are doing, we are installing software like Chrome, Firefox in a machine. Using that, we are accessing a web application. But to develop application, what we need to do, we need to develop the web application, and that needs to be installed on a server like Tomcat, WebLogic, WebSphere. Again, that server should be installed on a machine. Once it is installed, whomever have the browser and who has internet connection, with the help of the browser, they can connect to the web application which is running on the server. Once the web application is running, it can be consumed by many clients. There is no restriction. Whomever have the browser and with internet connection, they can use the web application. So the web application can be consumed by multiple clients. They may use our web application from the desktop or laptop or mobile phone. If you look at here, there are multiple clients. They are using our web application which is running on a server. So the web application typically will follow the client server architecture. In the client server architecture, the application is running on a single machine, that means a single server. Many clients will connect to the application and they will get the response. The server can serve multiple clients. So clients who will use the browser which is installed on their laptop or desktop to connect to the web application. Client is installed on a machine, that means browser. The server is installed on another machine. If they have the internet connection, they can use the web application. There are two types of web application. One is static, another one is dynamic. Static web application is called web page. Dynamic web application is interactive. Static web pages are not interactive. Most of the case, to develop web pages, you don't need database. And another one is content is same for all the users. Static web page, normally it is just a informative. Let's say you are accessing some college website or university website. Normally what it will provide, what are the courses they are offering, where the college is located, what are the facilities they are providing. So these are the information we will get when we visit college website. Say if you look at this example, we will come back to this after some time. To develop a website, we only need these skills: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and some CSS style sheet like Bootstrap. You don't need Java or database to develop a web page. If you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery along with some Bootstrap state frameworks, you can develop a web page. You don't need any knowledge on backend development. But to develop web application, you need backend development knowledge. So you should know any one of the backend language like Java, .NET, Python. For database, you should be familiar with any one of the database. Okay. if you visit amazon.in and flipkart.com, snapdeal.com, which will help us to purchase some products or items. So if you go to this web application, what we can do, we can search the products which we would like to buy, and we can add the items in the cart, and we can purchase with the help of our debit card, credit card or net banking account. So the web application is interactive. Based upon our search, it will list the items. And another one is the content is different. Say if you look at here, this is my Gmail account. This is a web application. So when I logging in, I am seeing only my mail. But when you log in, you will see your mails. So when you use your username and password, you are seeing your mails. When I am logging in, I am seeing my mails. The content is different based on the users. Okay. So in dynamic web application, the content is different for the users, and it is interactive. Normally, to use dynamic web application, authentication is required. Authentication means to use web application, you need to provide the username and password. Let's say you are using Gmail. What you need to do? You need to provide username, password, then only you can see your mailbox. Okay. If you look at this Tyagaraja Engineering College, this is a website. So let's say I am looking at this website. So when I am looking at this website, I can see the information of Tyagaraja Engineering College. Okay. So it is providing the information about the college. If you use this website from somewhere in the world, you are also seeing the same information. You are a user, I am a user, or somebody can be a user, but the content is same for all the users. And another one is, it is not interactive. Interactive means I can't make any search here. What I can do is I can click these links, I can go inside this link and get some information. So website is informative. So as I already said, to develop website we only need HTML, CSS, JavaScript knowledge. You don't need Java or .NET. Okay, Amazon.com is not opening. Let me click Flipkart. Okay. So as I said, website provide information. It is not interactive. Web application is interactive. Unfortunately, because of internet connection, it is slow, I think. Okay. So I suggest you to use any one of the web application like Amazon, Flipkart and Snapdeal, and just navigate one link from another and put some search and try to add in the cart, so you can see the difference between this website and the web application. In the That's all for today's session. In the next session, what we are going to do is we are going to learn Java. First, I will tell you how to install JDK, and we will write a basic program in Java. Okay. Thank you.